the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this happened relatively quickly, you would think are done for the season, even though they're making trades as if they're not. You would think that they are done for the year, and you would also think that Ben Roethlisberger, as excellent quarterback, is done as well, given that they don't have the skilled people to aid him. His body is not something that he's taken care of, and now he'll be coming off of a season-ending surgery to his elbow. The Saints went from 8-1 favorites to win the Super Bowl to 25-1 the moment that Drew Brees went out, and now it would appear that the Giants' career of Eli Manning is largely over. One would have to think so. We thought it was going to be over a couple of years ago. Next thing you know, the Maras sided with Eli Manning and Ben McAdoo, and the whole front office was gone. And then Gettleman and Pat Shurmur were telling us all offseason, Daniel Jones isn't ready. Eli Manning is our guy. We've all known for years that he's washed. It's weird that these guys would get in there. I guess maybe they would think that Daniel Jones will be more reckless with the football. But if you've seen Eli Manning the last few years, he's fumbling all the time. He's getting hit. He's less athletic, obviously, because of age. And so it's interesting to see all these people in social media say, because we love the transaction so much, where does Eli Manning end up next? But it's over, man. There's nothing there. Why would anyone trade anything for him? He just lost his starting job to a guy who lost to Wake Forest last year, 52-7, and everyone laughed at the pick. It was the laugh of the draft, the fact that Daniel Jones went that high.
Is there a team desperate enough to trade anything for Eli Manning? I wonder. I do. Steelers, Saints, Jaguars, a team that is so desperate that they would trade something to get Eli.
Are you sure at this point? I'm not even kidding. Given the fact that that Falk can go out there last night and go 20 for 25, are you sure that Eli Manning coming in at this age is better than Rudolph in the Steelers system, having watched it, learned it for 3 years? Because I'm not.
No, I'm not
sure. Are
sure.
you sure that Eli Manning can drop in on the Jacksonville Jags and be better than young Minshew, who's been studying the offense all year?
No, not at all. I don't think there's any market for Eli Manning right now. I just think he's going to sit on the Giants bench. But if you're the Giants, it makes all the sense in the world. Your season's going nowhere. Why not go with the younger guy? The Dolphins are going through that same thing. Why on earth are they still starting Ryan Fitzpatrick instead of playing Josh Rosen? It just doesn't make any sense.
We are close as a national media to needing to apologize to Dak Prescott, but I'm not willing to do it yet because that Giants defense is so bad and that Washington team is so bad and the next team they got, the Dolphins, is so bad. I think he's going to revert. He might not. He might continue to improve because he's looked exceptional the first couple of weeks of the season. But that Giants team is bad. All around it's bad. And what Daniel Jones provided for Gettleman all preseason was covered because he was perfect in the preseason. So someone explain to me. I'd like to know what the explanation is for Shurmur and Gettleman seeing that preseason, seeing the last two games, and saying somehow to themselves before that, Eli Manning needs to be our starter. Because Gettleman was putting his voice all the time on Eli Manning's not washed. You guys don't know what you're. Go find some of those quotes, Mike. Some of that sound of him overpraising Eli Manning as if they were afraid to bench him because the last group that benched him ended up getting gone.
Pat Shurmur decidedly less so, though. He would just sort of fall in line with what the company line was.
Well, he would say specifically, the owner has already told you who the starter is. It's Eli Manning.
Yeah, he would put it on other people. It's clear from his sideline gestures during games. He has bad body language. Pat isn't the most thrilled with Eli Manning.
Well, somebody's overly loyal to Eli Manning, but the only logical explanation is that Daniel Jones isn't ready, and we don't want to scar the kid. Because you see that before. It might have happened to Rosen in Arizona last year. If the young quarterback obviously isn't ready, don't just throw him in there. That's the only explanation for starting Eli over Daniel Jones.
First game at Dallas. That's a tough spot for a rookie. This game he gets is against Tampa Bay. It's a bit easier, right? Gets Washington after that. So maybe there's something there. Plus, I don't think they didn't think that Daniel Jones was going to be this good this quickly and Eli Manning was going to be this bad.
Well, I'm just saying that Daniel Jones as the quarterback position, I feel like he was the talk of the preseason because there were no incompletions. He was poised. He was making all the right decisions. But I'm telling you that what I saw from that guy last year, I actually saw pieces of that godforsaken game he lost at home to Wake Forest 52-7. I'm ashamed to admit it. I'm ashamed to admit it that I saw pieces of that game.
You should be.
Mike Ryan called it the single most surprising result in college football last year, that the Wake Forest Demon Deacons stormed into Duke and won 52-7.
The Deeks.